Ladies and gentlemen, I wrote about all of this in the Federalist. You can go to hagoodman.com and see the articles that I wrote. I talked about this for 4 years on this YouTube channel. And today, CNN Special Counsel John Durham concludes Federal Bureau of Investigation never should have launched full Trump-Russia probe. And, quote, based on the review of Crossfire Hurricane and related intelligence activities, we conclude that the Justice Department and Bureau failed to uphold their important mission to strict fidelity to the law in connection with certain events and activities described in this report. Durham's 300-page report also states the Bureau used, quote, raw, unanalyzed, and uncorroborated intelligence to launch Crossfire Hurricane investigation into Trump, but used a different standard when weighing concerns about alleged interference regarding Hillary Clinton's campaign. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where if you are a Democrat, you're being treated differently than if you were Trump. Also, there are loyalists, people within the United States government since 2015 who took an active approach, who actively tried to undermine Trump while at the same time elevating his direct political rivals. They used a dossier purchased by Clinton, and the DNC, the FEC, fined them for utilizing Bernie Sanders donations to purchase a dossier to create a McCarthy-era Red Scare political environment. Okay, these are, I learned, and you probably learned if you're watching, growing up in history class, that the McCarthy era was a negative moment in, a negative chapter in our history. Well, Democrats recreated that. We are now 90 seconds to midnight, according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. We are closer than ever to a nuclear confrontation with our former Cold War adversaries. Why? Because Democrats Biden did not want to negotiate, did not want to prevent the invasion from taking place, or do everything possible, do what Trump would have done. In the invasion in Europe would not have taken place under Trump because he would have negotiated and he would have found some kind of deal to prevent the hostilities, the atrocities, the never-ending military conflict. I said it's a moral imperative to have voted for Trump because he will work to prevent never-ending military conflict. People like Paul Ryan and Chris Christie and Mitt Romney or McCain or Bush, Cheney, Rumsfeld, the traditional Republicans and today's Democrats have the same viewpoint. That's how we got to the Durham probe. Okay? The people within, Kevin Kleinsmith is mentioned within the report. You have a Federal Bureau of Investigation attorney, Kleinsmith, who fabricated information to deceive a judge. This is not like Michael Flynn being set up or George Papadopoulos being set up by agents where you don't even know what happened during the interview. It's not recorded or videotaped. This is a judge signing off on more surveillance of Trump because a bureau official deceived him. And then you have all of these really just blatant and overt attempts at interfering within U.S. politics. I think we need a very strong Federal Bureau of Investigation, Central Intelligence, all of these intel agencies. Sure, we need an intel community. We don't need an intel community that sides with the Democratic Party. That is wrong. That makes us less safe. You need a functioning intelligence agency to protect the country, not to protect the country from Trump. Because Trump did a better job in terms of foreign policy, Doha Agreement, Abraham Accords, first president to step foot in North Korea, brought Americans out of numerous theaters of conflict, to the dismay of Democrats, by the way. Every time he wanted to bring home Americans from endless military conflict, media all at once, 10, 20 publications. Oh my goodness, no, we can't. And they tried to deceive Trump. His own Department of Defense. So, Fox News, Durham finds DOJ, FBI failed to uphold mission of strict fidelity to law. Excuse me. And Durham said his investigations also revealed that, quote, senior FBI personnel displayed a serious lack of analytical towards the information they received, especially information received from politically affiliated persons and entities. The information, in part, began and sustained Crossfire Hurricane and contributed to the subsequent need for Special Counsel Mueller's investigation. In particular, there was significant reliance on investigative leads provided or funded by Trump's political opponents. The department did not accurately examine or question these materials and the motivations of those providing them, even when at about the same time the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and others learned of significant potential contrary intelligence. Durham is referring to Comey and McCabe. And we talked about this for years on this channel. Okay. They utilized the United States government against Trump. Most people who don't like Trump will never know anything that happened today. They won't know really what the Durham probe was about. They won't care, okay? Ignorance is bliss. What fuels the Democratic Party is a gigantic lie by omission or continual lies by omission. They will not know. They will not care. They will not be talking about this in CNN other than to distort it and say, or MSNBC. Actually, CNN isn't distorting it, so it's interesting. It's actually an accurate article. There's no way to circumvent the reality that the Durham probe found senior officials at the Bureau and other intel agencies utilize the United States government against Donald Trump. That is a crime. 18 U.S. Code 371. I wrote about that in the Federalist. That is a crime. Okay, you could type in H.A. Goodman, Federalist, or hagoodman.com. You get my author page. And here, John Durham needs to investigate why the info generating the Mueller probe is all linked to Hillary Clinton. Comey and McCabe should be charged with 18 U.S. Code 371. That's one of the articles I wrote, and I explain. That is the statute that you could charge anyone in relation to the Durham probe, anyone mentioned within the Durham probe report. And then October 8th, 2021, why are Democrats hurtling the United States towards a stock market crash? Right before I wrote that, in 2022, we had one of the worst years in the market. One of the worst years in the market since the Great Depression, and on it, it's gonna get much worse because you have unfortunately bank runs on the horizon, and of course you have corporate profits declining. Michael Burry was right. Anyway, we're gonna have a terrible stock market crash and a financial crisis ahead. Unfortunately, I don't want that to happen, but. The mismanagement from Democrats has been unbelievable. Unbelievable. And they shut down economic activity. Governors did that. It wasn't Trump's fault. Trump was doing a great job in terms of the economy. He could have addressed the serious issue without the most apoplectic, frenzied response, which was motivated in large part by politics. And so, again, we had a situation where a Cold War, Red Scare, McCarthy-era frenzy was created by the good, morally superior liberal Democrats. And they had loyalists, and everyone knows it. You know, God bless James Comey and Andrew McCabe and Peter Strzok and all these people. They might have done things that I have no clue of to protect this country. So God bless them. They might have done things that nobody knows of to truly protect the United States of America. But they did not have to plunge us into this McCarthy-era hysteria. I don't think it was a disservice to the United States of America what they did. To accuse an incoming president of something he didn't do and tear apart families and friendships because of the wonderful, morally superior, yet ignorant liberal Democrats who thought that Trump was a Russian operative, which, of course, was the biggest hoax in American history. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. I'll be back doing a million of these videos. Give me your thoughts.